This escalated quickly. Donald Trump is threatening Marjorie Taylor Greene's life. This, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene and her family. Donald Trump has been relentlessly attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene, encouraging others in his cult to go after her, to mock her, to attack her. He's now referring to her as wacky Marjorie Traitor Brown, saying, remember, green turns to brown when there is rot involved. Donald Trump was asked as he was leaving Florida, where he was hiding after the release of the Epstein emails, and he was there on the taxpayer dime, about Marjorie Taylor Greene feeling like her life is being threatened by his barrage of harassment and the calling her of a traitor and encouraging others in his cult to go after her. Donald Trump says, I don't think her life is in danger. He says nobody cares about her at all, so her life can't be in danger. When I listen to this sounds like a mafia-style threat against Marjorie Taylor Greene. Tell me what you think when you hear this. Let's play this clip.
Her life could be in danger because of the rhetoric?
Her life is in danger? Who's that?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, she says.
Marjorie Taylor Green. I don't think her life is in danger. Frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her. Okay, what about you?
Now, Donald Trump continued to attack Marjorie Taylor Greene all day, into the night, into the morning, calling her a lightweight congresswoman. Again, he continues that she's rotten, that green grass turns to brown. He's encouraged others to run against her and primary her. He says she's out of MAGA and that she's a disgrace. Marjorie Taylor Greene has responded, and she says, now I'm getting these like pizza hoaxes and people doxing my home. She claims we received a pipe bomb threat on one of her construction company's office buildings. Her family owns construction buildings. She says Trump's unwarranted and vicious attacks against me were a dog whistle to dangerous radicals that could lead to serious attacks on me and my family. She says what Trump is saying, calling me a traitor, is untrue and horrific. She says this puts blood in the water and creates a feeding frenzy, and it could ultimately lead to a harmful or even deadly outcome. She's saying Donald Trump is threatening her life. Will she be taking out a restraining order against Donald Trump for these threats and harassment? She goes on to say, the timing of this happens to be days before we take the vote on releasing the Epstein files. She says, I love America and the American people. I'm not a traitor. When the president of the United States irresponsibly calls a member of Congress of his own party a traitor, he is signaling what must be done to a traitor. Now, you can see people in Trump's cult making posts like this. The twins from Shining all grown up. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene next to Lynn Cheney's faces superimposed. You have these Trump supporters calling Marjorie Taylor Greene Judas. You have, just horrific, repeatedly people harassing her, calling her R word this, R word that. Donald Trump's, cult member Laura Loomer is now posting the following exclusive. She says, I spoke with law enforcement officials at the police department in Rome, Georgia. They told me they never received a report today of a bomb threat at any of the businesses of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Greene posted earlier today that because of Trump, she was getting bomb threats at her construction company's office. It appears that Marjorie Taylor Greene lied. The police in Rome, Georgia just told me they aren't aware of any bomb threat. The person I spoke with told me they would have been made aware of it. I recorded the phone call and I have video of my conversation with the Rome, Georgia Police Department. I just don't want to post the video because I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene, or she calls her Marjorie Taylor Green, is so vindictive. She will try to get the law enforcement officer fired for telling me the truth. You need to stop lying. Police in your own district just told me there was never a bomb threat. You made it up. Now, you all know that Laura Loomer and Donald Trump couldn't be closer. A lot of Donald Trump's firing of top generals at the Pentagon, firing of top generals in the military, top Pentagon staff, State Department staff, and others come from Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer also attacks Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend, Brian Glenn, and says, oh no, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend who cheated on his wife to be with an ape is calling me a bitch. How will I ever recover? She goes on to then attack Thomas Massie and suggests that there was somehow foul play in the death of Thomas Massie's wife, which then Donald Trump echoed in his attacks against Massie. Laura Loomer says, serious questions and serious answers only. How did Thomas Massie, he's the Republican who led the discharge petition with Democratic Congressmember Ro Khanna. She goes, how did Thomas Massie's wife die? Is there a police report? Is there an autopsy? Why is this such a mystery? I'd like to know. I find it so bizarre, and I always have. Now there's a much younger woman in the picture. Then Donald Trump echoed that, and he said, did Thomas Massie, sometimes referred to as Rand Paul Jr., because of the fact he always votes against the Republican Party, get married already? Boy, that was quick. No wonder the polls have him less than 8% chance of winning the election. Anyway, have a great life, Thomas, and question mark. His wife will soon find out that she's stuck with the loser. So Donald Trump, who's on his third marriage, Donald Trump, who's on audio saying that he grabs women by their genitals and sexually assaults them because he's rich and he can get away with it. Donald Trump, who talked about going into beauty pageants and looking at girls naked so that he can inspect them as the head of the beauty pageants. Donald Trump, who's been found liable for sexual assault. Donald Trump, who was found liable on 34 felony counts. Donald Trump, who's covering up a child sex trafficking ring, is attacking Thomas Massie for his first wife passing away after their 35 years of marriage together, which destroyed Massie's life. And now he's upset that Massie remarried. That's what Donald Trump is doing right now. How utterly despicable is that? Marjorie Taylor Greene previously went after Laura Loomer and said, how does Laura Loomer get to even be a Pentagon advisor where, based on Laura Loomer's past mental conditions, potentially, she's not even allowed to legally buy a gun, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Here, play this clip.
How does Laura Loomer get to be a Pentagon advisor, but you get primaried? Like, what is that?
I don't know. I've never understood why anyone takes her serious. I mean, this is a woman that can't even legally buy a gun because she had such serious mental problems. She literally posted the other day that she blew blood vessels in her eye as she was hysterically tweeting, like 40 or 50 times in one day. Who listens to a person like that? Like, right. No one should.
You know how every razor promises a smooth shave, but somehow it still ends up dulling fast and irritating your neck? That was me, constantly replacing blades that felt cheap. Then I tried Harry's Plus, and honestly, I've been obsessed ever since. That's right, Harry's just launched their brand new razor called Harry's Plus. Harry spent an entire decade of R&D for the smoothest possible shave. This is their biggest launch in the history of their company. Now, if you're looking for an incredibly advanced shave but still want to pay less than other premium brands, Harry's Plus is for you. So what makes Harry's Plus an upgrade? Well, first, their advanced pivoting system to make reaching all the corners of your face even easier. Also, their refined blade technology for an even closer, more comfortable shave. Blade spacing is optimized to glide smoothly and avoid clogging. Not to mention their weighted metal handle, their heaviest handle yet for more control. With Harry's, you get that barber shop quality shave with German engineered blades. Each blade is honed at 3 different angles to cut hair cleanly at the root without tugging. Even after all of this innovation, Harry's Plus still costs less than Gillette Fusion, a premium shave without the premium markup. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/Meidas. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shell gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head to harrys.com/Meidas to claim this offer. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that MeidasTouch sent you.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene was on CNN in the morning, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is asked, I thought, a good question by Dana Bash, which is, it seems that now you're upset that Donald Trump is saying these things because you're involved, but you didn't seem to be upset when he was saying these things about other people. And you, Marjorie, were involved in attacking people and calling people traitors and saying that essentially implying that like Nancy Pelosi and other people should be executed for treason. Like, you've said things like that. So how do you square this? And Marjorie Taylor Greene says, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said those things. I realize now that that was adding to the toxicity in politics, and it's a fair criticism of me. That's what she says. Here, play this clip.
You posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another. And we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences. Yeah. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
Marjorie Taylor Greene also went after Donald Trump in the morning for on a policy position for Donald Trump, saying that Chinese students are smarter than American students and foreign workers are better than American workers. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Play this clip.
So sounds like you're saying that he is not representing the MAGA movement that he started right now.
I can say that promoting H-1B visas to replace American jobs, bringing in 600,000 Chinese students to replace American students' opportunities in American colleges and universities, those are not America First positions. And continuing to really travel all over the world doesn't help Americans back at home. I really, and I said this to him, and I will say it out loud, I would love to see Air Force One be parked and stay home, and there be nothing but a constant focus in the White House on a domestic agenda that helps the American people once and for all.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene was very critical of Donald Trump yesterday morning for him inviting the former leader of Al-Qaeda, who now leads Syria, into the White House, where Donald Trump sprayed him with perfume or cologne and sniffed him and said that you smell really good and you're handsome. And Marjorie Taylor Greene says that that was not a good thing to do on the Marines' 25th anniversary, sniffing the former head of Al-Qaeda in the Oval Office. I think she's right. I agree with her. Here, we'll play this clip right here.
And I can disagree with the president at times, particularly this past Monday on the Marines' 250th anniversary, when he honored the new Syrian president, who is an Al-Qaeda terrorist and was wanted by our government for years with a $10 million bounty up until March of this year. I very much am against that. I think that was very hurtful to the great men and women who served over in the Middle East and were sent there, and many of them that were killed and injured and live with PTSD to this day from fighting Al-Qaeda. So there's things I disagree with, and I'm allowed to do so.
Should also be noted, Marjorie Taylor Greene, when she was on the Sean Spicer show, Donald Trump's former press secretary, a little bit earlier last week, she said that this gaslighting people and saying prices are down is really offensive. Here, play this clip.
And so gaslighting the people and trying to tell them that prices have come down is not helping. It's actually infuriating people, because people know what they're paying at the grocery store. They know what they're paying for their kids' clothes and school supplies. They know what they're paying for their electricity bills. And so that approach does not work. We need compassion, and show that we care about the American people, and show that we are in the trenches with them on what they're going through. That's first and foremost. You don't gaslight them, you don't lecture them, and you don't deny what's happening.
When she was on another podcast, she talked about, the release of the Epstein files. Here, play this clip.
Everyone that voted for Trump Vance, everyone was like, release the Epstein files.
Right.
This is not even an argument. It's not even debatable. It's not being a traitor to the president to sign my name on a Thomas Massie discharge petition to release the Epstein files. No. I am staying true to what we've always said. There needs to be transparency.
And what's notable as well is that late last night, Donald Trump then finally posted that he now says, I want the House of Representatives to release the Epstein files. But if you actually look at what Donald Trump's post is and you take a closer look, what Donald Trump is actually saying is that he's not going to release him. But Donald Trump said, as I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide. You literally said the opposite. Like you've always been saying, don't release the Epstein files. But here is where Donald Trump is essentially ordering the DOJ, don't turn the files over. But he didn't want to be embarrassed by Marjorie Taylor Green leading the House with Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie to pass a resolution to release the Epstein files, which is going to happen on Tuesday. Trump goes, the Department of Justice, in his post, the Department of Justice has already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein, are looking at various Democrat operatives, Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, and their relationship to Epstein. And the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. Legally entitled to. Then he goes on to say at the end, let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements and not fall into the Epstein, quote, trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. Make America great again, exclamation point. You see again where he says whatever they are legally entitled to. The plan here is that now that the DOJ is investigating Democrats and not Donald Trump and not Donald Trump's friends and those who are actually involved. By the way, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, independents, I don't care. Investigate them all. Release the files. It doesn't matter to me. But what the DOJ is now going to say is, well, because we have an investigation, the rules prevent us from releasing the files. So the House will vote to have it released. The DOJ will say we can't turn over the files, active investigation. And the Senate may not even take it up on a vote. But now Trump wants to act like, well, I told the House you can vote to release the Epstein files. But you see what's happening here. Donald Trump spiraling out of control, threatening Marjorie Taylor Greene's life, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm sure you never thought that we would be right here, right now, before Thanksgiving, which, by the way, Donald Trump claims is going to be 25% cheaper this year, which we all know it's way more expensive. I just went to the supermarket. I just bought things at the supermarket. And when I was going to the supermarket, you tell me if you have the same experience. I was at the register and we were scanning the stuff and then it was like, boop, boop, boop. And I swear what my mind went to was a freaking heart monitor as I'm watching the cost of these groceries. It was boop, 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 boop. I'm like, no, not that. I'll just take this. It's not cheaper, Donald, and just release the files. You have full authority. If you want to release them now, just release them all. What are you doing? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and thank you for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.